Equipping focused discipleship. This is a real area of passion for me. Robert Coleman, who everybody knows and everybody adores Robert Coleman, and of course, and I would agree with that, and we ought to. Again, another interview that was just so good. But he said this, and this is really, really good. He said the word clergy is translated from the New Testament word kleros. It translates as either heir or inheritance. It's used about 30 times in different contexts. Who are the heirs of God whenever this word is used in reference to the church? Every Christian. This tells us that every member of the body is a part of the clergy. Everybody is a ministering priest of God. Now, I want to talk for just a second about how we have lost this. This is another area in which the church has not been countercultural, but instead has embedded ourselves within the context of culture. We live in a culture that I think rests on two twin pillars, the pillars of individualism and materialism, independence and consumerism. It's what makes us Americans, right? When it comes to independence and individualism, we love the pull yourself up by your bootstraps sort of successful John Wayne, Jason Bourne, James Bond sort of character. Frank Sinatra's iconic song was? Of course it was, My Way. By the way, have you ever thought about the hubris in that song? I got to the end of my life and I looked back and mistakes, well, I've made a few. I mean, my gosh, I could say that about every day before I eat lunch, right? I mean, I get to the end of my life and I've made a few mistakes. But I look back and I'm grateful and I'm successful because I did it my way. That's the American ethos. And consumerism, right? So we bow down at the altar of materialism and consumerism, and we treat church just like a consumer experience. When I go shopping, and I'm a cheapskate when it comes to shopping. My wife will tell you when it comes to buying blue jeans, it took me forever. I just bought these blue jeans last month. It took me forever shopping for blue jeans because I'm so cheap. It's astonishing to me how much blue jeans cost. My favorite pair of blue jeans, which are in the hotel, my wife bought for me 2 years ago at a yard sale for $2. I love those jeans. When I go looking for a pair of blue jeans or some clothes, I go and I look for the best store that offers me the most comfortable fit and asks of me the smallest price. Now, when somebody's looking for a church, what do we call that process? We call it their church. Man, can you think of a more materialistic way to refer to the covenanted body of faith than church shopping? And how do people shop for church? The same way they shop for blue jeans. I'm going to go find the best looking option that offers me the most comfortable fit and asks of me the smallest price. They're consumers, and church leaders, we've got to be quick to admit we've catered to that. They're not that way because they're bad. They're that way because we've allowed the church to take on that form. We've created consumer incubators. And as a result of that, we live in a culture that prizes professionalism because we're consumers who are recipients of goods and services. And so church leaders, we demand of them that they be religious professionals who dispense to us religious goods and services. And when we get angry and dissatisfied with those religious goods and services, we withhold payment. That's why one of the fastest ways to tell if your church is unhealthy is if people have quit giving, right? They withhold payment. They go to the pastor, the religious professional, and they say, fix this for me, because the customer's always right. They expect it to be fixed. And if it's not fixed, they pack up and they shut down and they go to the next church down the road that offers them a great experience at a comfortable fit and ask the smallest price of them. It's a consumer experience. And so because of that, we've built a culture of religious professionals who do ministry on behalf of people. Hear me when I say this, and hear me say this as loudly and as confidently as I can. Ephesians 4 and other passages are astonishingly clear on this point. Not a one of us in this room is paid to do ministry. None of us have a vocational responsibility to do ministry. You say, Mike, are you telling us that pastors shouldn't do ministry? Absolutely not. I said it's not your vocational responsibility to do ministry. Every one of us in here are a member of the body, and so we have a familial responsibility to do ministry. That's the purpose of the body, that we all serve together and minister together. But our vocational responsibility is to equip the saints for work of ministry. The problem is too many of us have discipleship models that aren't equipping anybody for anything. We're catering to religious consumers as the religious professionals who are the dispensers of goods and services. And therefore, when we say to the average person in the pew, you need to start engaging in ministry, they look at us and go, that's what we pay you for. That's your job. We've got to recapture a discipleship model that equips the saints for works of ministry.